Hi everyone, Marianne Cowan here from Pinery Paper Crafts. It is Friday, February the 2nd, Groundhog Day. I live in Ottawa, Canada. I'm an independent Stampin Up demonstrator and I come live on Fridays, usually at 3, but I'm a little bit late today. So yes, it's Groundhog Day and there's been mixed reviews about if the groundhog saw his shadow or not. But living in Ottawa, I am not fooled that spring is here. We will have easily 6 more weeks of winter. However, it is quite mild out today, so it is quite lovely. So I'm just pulling us up so I can see comments, hopefully. So today we're going to be featuring one of the new products in the mini catalog, January to April, and it is called Wild Ferns, and it is similar to one that we have in the annual catalog, but it's a little bit different, and I was excited to play with this one. So we're just going to make 2 cards today so I can show you some of the elements that are in this set. So, Wild Ferns on page 21. Got so much stuff on my desk. So when I get a die set like this, what I do is I like to cut up a whole bunch of elements so that when I'm designing my cards, I can just pull from my little container of elements. So here is the stamp set and the dies. The sentiments are really, really beautiful. Thank you. Heartfelt condolences. You are greatly appreciated. Here's to new beginnings. And I love this one. Wishing you well today, tomorrow, and every day that follows. Some nice elements, a texture element, background element, and then some beautiful ferns. We actually have ferns that grow wild in our backyard and in the side of our house as well. So I do love ferns. It's really fun to watch them uncurl. We are also going to be using on one of the cards the softly stippled designer series paper. We're going to be using the back side, this blue piece. And the other card is just color on color. We're also going to be using the Basics 3D embossing folders, and we're going to be using one that kind of looks like linen maybe. We'll be using that one. And I think today I'm just going to use basic pearls for these cards because they're just so pretty, I think. I haven't made them yet. All I've done is thought about how they're going to look, and I've prepared what the bases are going to look like. So here's the first one. So I have basic white. I'm just going to fold that in half. Whoops. Then I have Pool Party, 4 by 5 1/4. These are common measurements, so I don't think I need to have a little sticky. So here is that designer series paper. Here's what it looks like on the other side. This is the Wild Wheat, which wasn't getting rave reviews when it first came out as a new in color, and I just ordered my second pack, so it's growing on me. So here is the blue one, and you can see when I tilt it that it is embossed using that embossing folder from the 3-pack. Then we have vellum and white, and these are the new dies called, what are they called? I use them all the time. I cannot believe I don't remember the name. Because I've been using them non-stop. Thoughtful Expressions dies. They are just my go-tos. And so we're using these ones here. And don't forget it's Celebration, so when you spend $60 in Canada, you get a free Celebration item. They did upload more offerings for Celebration. I'm going to get a new glue So there's lots of fun new things in the to choose from. And then there's also different choices if you spend $120 or more. So we're just going to put our pool party, and then our designer series paper, softly stippled. All right, just going to give it a good rub. Now, the elements. So before I glue this on, or glue this together even, I want to decide which elements. So I have the soft seafoam is for the next card. So we don't want that, but we do want some vellum. So there's two different corner pieces. And I will tell you, the vellum ones, you sometimes have to run it back and forth. And I also did put a piece of wax paper. And if it doesn't work, you can just trim it, which is what I did with that one. So this is one of the elements. And it's just fun the way that it wraps around the corner. And then the other one goes this way. And then there's some fun other little pieces. There's this one that wraps, and these ones, I think that's most of them. And then there are 3 sizes of sentiment pieces. It's just a really fun set. And I think it's a set that you will have in your stash for a long time and be using it over and over. So we want to focus on white. No, we want to focus on, we want some vellum. I'm not sure if I'm going to use both of these. And we want blue and white. I'm going to put them on here because it makes it easier for me to see them. Okay, some blue and white. So I did die cut all of the elements in white and in blue. This was one that didn't quite make it because I hadn't used yet a piece of wax paper. And so I have both of them. Oh, blue. You can put too much on, I have found. So also, because it has a sharp angle there, you can just slide it down a little bit or trim it off. So I would probably trim my corners. And then just trim this sharp little piece. So this one goes that way, so I think I want it this way. And then you have to remember that you don't want it spilling out over your card. And do you want it here, or do you want it behind the vellum? Or you could have some of each. I think I want blue here. And you have to build backwards, so if I glue that on now, everything else is going to be behind. And if you want it like down near the bottom there, you could flip it over, but it doesn't look, it looks wrong. But you could trim up some. I'm just going to try this. If I have it near the bottom. It looks a bit too much for me. Let's try this. And maybe a vellum one that's not the same. Let's try the other vellum one. And then you can kind of play around with them and poke them in and out of each other. And then sometimes you want to have just ones that aren't the whole piece, so it sticks out more, like that. I like that better. Okay, let's see how that looks. You can also decide, do I want the blue first and then the vellum? I feel like the vellum's being hidden. I'm going to trim that off. Let's try this way. And what other color do we have? We have white. Because we also have these single ones. I do feel like it needs something on the other side though. This is the same one. Nope, it's different. Maybe put white on the other side. Let's try that. So it really is a lot of just playing around. All right, and then if we introduce vellum on each side, maybe that'll tie it together. Yeah, that's pretty. I have some other vellum ones in here that were just partials. So you want it offset so that it's not right on top of that one. Okay, I like that. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue here. It's hard to know exactly where to put it because I don't have my other one on yet. So with the white glue, I do have an opportunity to move it if I need to. I'm just going to quickly do this. So I think it needs to go down a little bit. And then we'll try this one. You can go back and trim later, but it's trickier. That one looks good. All right, it is designed for square edges, so. Okay, I'm gonna do it different this time. I'm gonna try gluing it on here. So I wanna get it right in the middle there. And that also shows me where I can trim this off. There we go. And then we'll add this piece to the back. Now you can look at it and say, might have wanted to go all blue or all white. I don't know. Every card is different and unique, so try a couple of different layouts and see which one you like better. I think that's pretty though. I'm going to take a white one and pop it in here. So for that, I'm going to use glue dots. These are the cards that are just fun to kind of play around with. Play around with the layout, play around with the design. See what you like, what you might change. Okay, so I want to tuck this one right here where there's no white. And then maybe I'll tuck something in here where there's no blue. Yeah, that'll look good. Kind of balance it out. A little bit of white and blue and vellum on each side. I'm not sure I love the white and then blue, but I committed. However, having said that, I could still go and add. I just feel like that's a lot. I'm just going to leave it like this. So I'm going to glue this on. You notice where you have little spots you might want to trim. And just center it. I'm going to try to poke this. I was going to try to bring the blue out, but I don't really think it needs it. And then we'll add our, put it on with dimensionals. And then when you flip it over, because you've already added it to your vellum, you can see where to put your dimensionals so that they're not showing through. The next one is all white, so we're not going to have that dilemma of, should I put blue all the way around? Oh no, we do have green, don't we? And I didn't put any at the bottom, but I don't think it needs it. So there we go, and now we're going to add some pearls. I just think it needs just something subtle. There. Wishing you well today, tomorrow, and every day that follows. I like it. I think it's pretty. So this is the one with pool party. And the next one is going to be with soft seafoam. And then again, there's that thoughtful expressions dies. And we're going to do this one a little different. So let's go ahead and get our card done. Then we'll add our elements. You can see that piece that's die cut, what it looks like when it's not on the designer series paper. Definitely you can see the embossing more, but you can definitely see the embossing on the other one as well. So this is going on to soft seafoam with just a tiny border. And then we'll get that put on. So for this one, I have I think I'm going to do it this way. So I have these two elements, but then I'm going to build everything up around this little thank you. So I do definitely want to introduce the green. And you can see how this is a very small one, so we're going to have to definitely do some trimming and decide all right, let's start with this bottom piece. So I'm going to trim off here. I'll save these because I'll probably use them. Okay, so we're just going to unattach it. So that's the bottom piece. And it's just going over to this one, which means we need to trim off that. All right, so that's the bottom. So this is how this one's going to be laid up, like that, and then we're going to use these pieces for the sides. And this piece, let's see, so we can go right to there. And I think we need to take this part off. Oh, that's perfect. Because then this green piece flows into this. And if you're looking, it looks a little lost on this side. So let's find a white one, because you can put them this way as well. Let's try that. Or so then you decide, do I want the white on first and then the green behind? Which I think I do, because we're putting it on white, so I don't really want the white behind. So I'm going to go ahead and put this little piece on. And you do have to poke out some little elements after. So this is going to go in this corner. I love how you can just piece these together. Just use some of the little pieces that you have. Oh, was that where I wanted it? And then this one here. So you can see where you have spaces, and that's where I'm going to go back and fill in with vellum. Yes, okay. And let me just try to see if I'm going to put vellum first or green. because it's going onto a piece of white. What do you guys think? I think I'm going to do vellum as the second layer. So let's do some snipping. That's going to go like that. And we're going to take all of this just off of the edge because we don't want it to see, but it still might be okay. So let's try. Yeah, I like that. Okay, that's going to be our next layer. Remembering what we do up here, we want to do something similar on the bottom. All right, and then we have our green piece. And I'll just pop something out there. Something white, I think. Let's try this one. Yes. So let's pop this little white piece. Whoa, that's a lot of glue. Do I want it? Yeah. And then that. All right, one side done. And every card you make will look a little bit different because you've lined everything up a little differently. Yeah, I like that. It's going to be pretty. Let's do our little, yes, I like it. Now, so we did green, but we did white first. So let's add some white. And then we did vellum on the bottom. That'll fit right in there. I could trim it, but it doesn't need to be trimmed. And we need more white. I feel like these ones. Let's try. Just going to use that one little piece. And I'm going to put it on top, but you'll see that I'm going to tuck it behind. And then we need a vellum piece. Those are the same ones. So we want to offset them a bit. Let's just see what we got going on here now. So we've got that, that, that. You can see how it's definitely smaller on the bottom, so we definitely need something. Okay, that's nice. And what's nice about it is this kind of gets lost up in the, there's so much going on. Definitely need to add a few things here, but I think I like that. I remember how to glue this. Okay, so I'm going to glue this piece. So you're working from what's going to be right up against your sentiment back. I just want to make sure. Okay, so I'm going to attach this now, and then I'm just going to insert little add-ons. There we go. So this is all going to get layered up. Really now, there's no purpose in having this because you can't even see it. I will just put one maybe. Now we do need a bit of vellum over here. Oh no, maybe white. White or vellum, I'm not sure. I think vellum actually. Let's cut these pieces of vellum and then we can attach them separately. Just kind of look at it and see where it seems like it's missing something. So right here. So now that I have all this vellum at the back, I'm going to put it on vellum, which seems silly. But it does need an anchor. All right, I think it's good, except I want one little white here. Yep. Just going to put a dab of glue. And kind of tuck it in behind. There. All right, what do you guys think? Let's put all my other little pieces in here because I will use those. All right, so there it is with nothing. There it is with vellum. Could also go something really big. I don't think that's necessary. No. Okay. I think I'm going to attach it to the vellum. And I'm going to glue it right here. And then I'm going to pop the vellum up. So let's see if I can get this straight. I'm going to flip it over and see if I've got it kind of centered. That looks good. Something poking here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I like that. All right, let's add some dimensionals. I don't think you're going to be able to see anything through here. So Wild Ferns is this stamp set and dies, and it is just really fun to work with. You could add a ribbon, you could add lots of things, but to be honest, there's so much stuff going on with this. I don't really think it needs anything other than a couple of pearls. Just ever so subtle. Maybe one down here. I always do pearls in odds, so I rarely just put one. So it's either got to have 3 or 5. Okay. So do you have a favorite? Does anybody have this set and they've already created some things with it? I'd love to find out. So here are our 2 cards for today using the Wild Ferns stamp set and dies. So let me know if you like soft seafoam or pool party, which is your favorite. I hope you're having a fun day, and I hope you're getting time to, or I hope you're having time to spend in your craft room. Thank you for joining me today. I do appreciate it if you like or share my video. If you're watching the replay, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button so that you'll know next time I go live. Thanks everyone, and have a great weekend.